How to win the lotto without buying a ticket. Increase your chances to get rich with anti-rat race strategies. Authored by Yamani Saed. Chapter 1. Rat Race. Until what age do you plan to work? Some might say until they reach 60, then retire, while others simply say just work for 40 years of their life, then that's about it. Retire. When I was working in a corporate engineering firm, out of curiosity, it made me think if there is such a vision mission that directly benefits me. To my surprise, the vision mission was only for the company's interest, and so there's nothing for me. It only states that about being the leading firm in the region providing engineering services. Maybe I was hoping for a statement that goes empowering the employees or that it cares for the welfares of its employees and the like. In relation to that empowering, I started asking myself again if my current direct boss is mentoring me. Not that I want to be spoon-fed, but I would really want that feeling of mentoring set up and not just some boss who will just sign up my timesheet at the end of every week. Mentoring for me is like I am learning something new from the company that my boss would personally guide me. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of that, and I don't want to assume that I'm overqualified for the job. I do remember the part when I was self-studying the program for planners for the first few months. Nobody was there to educate me. Of course, I requested for a training, but due to financial concerns of our company, those knowledgeable planners from Norway, which is our headquarters, won't come down to teach us in Singapore. But learning on my own is manageable. What I really don't feel comfortable is the politics inside our office. There was one management meeting conducted where statistics were shown, age brackets, males and females, then the race. Of all those statistics that the management flashed on screen, all were discussed except the race. Why was that? Simply because it showed that there were hiring people of the same race as the management is. That's over 70% of the population in our office. Can you say that their race is better than the other races? Well, I would like to think so. But there are a lot of those who are not competitive too. Of course I know because I get all the reports done at the end of every week. Repetitive revisions of submitted drawings without incorporating the client's comments. Submitting drawings that has outdated information. Engineers who doesn't understand the simple elevation of platforms in drawings. Engineers who doesn't know the basic symbols. And the other cases that I found are really funny on their performances. I'm not saying that there are no good people. Of course there are. But due to politics, even those who are not capable were hired. Then here goes annual assessment. During this time, you'll probably have an increase in pay, which will be around 1 to 5%, or hopefully a promotion. But with the dirty politics in place, assessment won't be fair. Being the good employee is not enough. Working in a corporate world started to fade in me. Aside from personal benefits, mentoring, politics, I started looking at my daily routine. Every morning, I have to wake up early so the trains and buses would be less crowded. Well, maybe I can just buy a new car or live nearby my workplace. Yes, you are right. It's easier said than have it done as we have financial constraints to consider. My lifestyle is affected too. I can't fit in my personal schedule due to reports I need to submit. I can't even go for my prayers on time. Going for gym has become less and less. I can't even have my monthly food treat for myself, which I always do when I was in Malaysia. I can't make it with my year-long awaited movies on big screen. Annual vacation got postponed and shortened. And then I thought, maybe this is a good time to lower my expenses so I can start saving more. Then, it was just in time when I saw the quote from Robert Kiyosaki that says, "It's more important to grow your income than to cut your expenses. It is more important to grow your spirit than to cut your dreams. The timing of that message arrived just in time. At first, I did wish for a higher increment. 15% would be awesome, I said. But the maximum, as I heard, that the company can give is just 5%. I never had that too. The maximum I got was 2%. Even worse, the oil and gas industry started to fall down. While I was hoping for an increase, the company started to retrench. Contractual employees were laid off first, then redundancies of positions, and they restructured the organization that some took over the position of the other that they laid off. They posted a lot of ways to save energy, save paper, minimize printing, and remove some coffee makers. That coffee maker was really funny, that it was mentioned in the company's periodical magazine. It made me realize that no matter how good you are, but when the company needs to cut costs, it won't guarantee your retention. Given all this unsecured setup, I started asking myself if should I stay or should I leave the company and find a better one. The other oil and gas companies are experiencing it too. They are also retrenching. Since most of the years of my career is in oil and gas, where will I move then? Redundancies have been removed on the other side too, which leaves them minimal employees. As my other colleague was saying, oil and gas people are now mostly on ground, looking for an office to accept them, but there's just no job opening. I searched for ways on how to go through all of this, as moving to another company is not an option anymore. I bumped into Robert Kiyosaki's audiobook of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have been reading a lot though, that this book is a must read. So I spared time. While in the office, instead of listening to music, I was listening to this audiobook. The one that hit me most was the message that goes, no matter how big your salary is, there will come a point that is just enough. Nothing for you to save at the end of the month. I said to myself, I am experiencing that now. After my pay, what I have left in my wallet are receipts of monthly bills on utilities and loans, and money remittance to my parents. And so it made me listen for some more of similar books, anticipating more learnings. Little did I know, I was going for financial literacy. I learned that I need to know my personal income statements. Where did all my money go at the end of the month? Was it fully on loans, utility bills, and remittances? Or are there any other I am spending without taking into account? In one seminar I was listening to, the speaker said, consider yourself as a company, giving services for the companies where you are now hired. Manage all the expenses versus your income as you mind the time for yourself and your family. I never thought of that, and so I started valuing my money and the time more than I ever did. I realized that life is not about working for the whole week and rest on weekdays, then get to pay the room rent, eat to survive, and do the same cycle over and over again. This was the rat race that I was in. You might not know, but you also have your own rat race setup. Yours could be those type with the seemingly abundance, wherein you have a car of your own. Probably you're sending your kids to a high tuition school, more expensive utility bills and loans to pay, but the cycle remains. You may be on the poorer side too, wherein you're looking much on those basic needs. Maybe it's about the next meal to eat, new uniforms to buy as your current starts to wear off, behind payments on electricity and water bills, and unpaid house rent. Whichever side you are now, you must realize if you are in a rat race. More than 70% of the population of the world are in rat race, or simply around 7 out of every 10 people. It's not really a bad situation because people who are in a rat race are mostly contented. But living a greater life is, of course, a better life. As I said, it is not a life of seemingly abundance, rather, real abundance, where there's still more that you can give to others and not just clinging on your day by day life only for yourself and immediate family. It's not about the years of life staying alive, it's always about the adventure in those years you lived. As for me, we're just given one life and that's it. Where life leaves us, time's up. Let the end of your life find you climbing a new mountain, not sliding down the old one, as Jim Rohn noted in one of his seminars. End of chapter 1.